The Broncos rookies are set to report this Wednesday, but two of them don't even have a contract done yet. Is it a big deal or is it all nothing to worry about, Broncos country? We're going to answer that right now. All right, Broncos fans, let's have the conversation. I'm sure you've seen the headline, and if not, I'll give it to you right here. Are we worried about R.J. Harvey and Jahdae Barron not having their rookie contract signed just yet? Now, the big news is about R.J. Harvey, but you can't forget about Barron. He was the 20th overall pick. He was their first selection in this draft, and it kind of caught us all off guard. We'll get to him. I want to start with R.J. Harvey, and I want to start with R.J. for a couple of different reasons. So if you're thinking this and you're hearing it for the first time and you go, that dang R.J. Harvey, what's with these NFL players being so selfish with their contracts and their money? Not so fast, my friend. R.J. Harvey, well, we know there are 32 players picked in the second round because there are 32 teams that can make picks. All but like 2-3 of those guys are holding out. The 2 or 3 guys, it's actually 2, that have signed a deal, it's because they have had their full rookie contract, it's a 4-year term, guaranteed. Every single dollar on that deal for the foreseeable future of those 4 years is guaranteed. Now every second-round player, including Denver's own R.J. Harvey, is going, hold up now. If he's getting his money guaranteed and I'm drafted in the same round, how come I'm not getting my money guaranteed? And you know what? I'm going to look at this from the player's perspective, and then I'm going to look at it from Peyton and Pinner's perspective, ownership and general manager. I want to start with the player. I tend to side with the players on stuff like this. Very short shelf life that these guys can go and get their money. You always hear the term team-friendly deal. I think that's a bunch of BS. Sign a team-friendly deal. When has a team ever given an employee-friendly deal? That doesn't exist. So why would it be a one-way street when players are always supposed to fall in line, but ownership groups and general managers, they can do basically whatever they want? So this side of it from RJ's perspective. One, not only are you a second-round player looking for the guaranteed money that the other 2 players have got, you're also a guy that you're not coming in here to like make the team, contribute on special teams. R.J. Harvey is coming in on Wednesday, and then when the vets get here next week to compete for the starting job of running back on the Denver Broncos, who have aspirations to go to and win playoff games. Win playoff games. So it's not like he's just a nobody, right? It's not Audric Estime from a year ago, which was a 5th-round pick, and you go, well, let's see if he makes the team and what he can do. So as far as the RJ side goes, I understand. If I'm drafted in a group or a round that somebody is and they got all their money guaranteed, I want that same grace. I want that money guaranteed as well. Now, if you're the Denver Broncos, you're George Paton and you're Greg Pinner. And I will say this, and shout out to my radio partner, Danny Williams, who's sitting in for Cecil this week. He said this and brought it up, and I hadn't really considered it because, like I said, I tend to lean on the player's side of things with stuff like this. But is it a bad look for Greg Pinner at all? Richest owner in sports, right? Certainly in the NFL. So the dude's got billions and billions and billions of dollars. What's wrong with guaranteeing 4 years of a contract rather than 2? So is it a bad look on Greg Pinner's part, or is Greg Pinner going, hey, I know what the running back position is in the NFL. R.J. Harvey, despite us as a team being high on what he can bring to the table, he hasn't accomplished anything, 0, at the NFL level. So why would I put myself in a bad situation? What if he doesn't work out and then I'm stuck with money on the books for the next 4 years? Well, we know what the Broncos have done with money stuck on the books. They just dealt with that with Russell Wilson and continue to deal with it here as the money starts to come off, finally, with Russ not being on the team. So is it a bad look for Pinner? As it's weird to say Greg Pinner and cheap in the same sentence because that couldn't be further from the truth that Greg Pinner is cheap. But is it a weird look that he doesn't just want to cough up the dough? I can get if you're saying yes and screaming at your computer screen right now. I understand that part. But you also, like I just try to put myself in R.J. Harvey's shoes, let's put ourselves in Greg Pinner's shoes. Those things feel real comfortable, right? Those billion-dollar shoes right there. He's an owner in the NFL. He's one of the newer owners in the NFL. He is also the richest owner in the NFL. Now, Y'all want to pretend they don't collude. The NFL and NFLPA just got busted colluding over this exact topic, guaranteed money. It was with the Deshaun Watson stuff, and the Browns really screwed everybody over. But do you think Greg Pinner wants to be one of those guys that goes, you know what? I did it. I caved. I gave my second-round pick a fully guaranteed deal. I don't think he does. Because then you know what the agent of next year's second-round pick's going to say? Hey, Greg, you did it with R.J. Harvey. Do you think my client's not as good as R.J. Harvey? Then you're putting Greg in a tough spot. You're putting George in a tough spot. So Greg Pinner has to balance this like, yo, I'm super rich, and I can do whatever the hell I want with my money when it comes to paying players. Then he also has to balance that with, I need to act responsibly, and I also need to act on the behalf of 31 other NFL owners. And I think that's where we're stuck now. R.J. Harvey saying, I need this money because this guy got it and this guy got it, and I think I'm in a similar role that they are. Greg Pinner saying, man, I really could just give him all this money and make this go away, but do I let down the brotherhood that is NFL ownership? Tough spot for Greg Pinner to be in. I do believe there's a happy medium here. I think there's a happy medium that gets RJ done, pen to paper, and it gets Greg in a position where he still is looked upon favorably from future players and still doesn't let down his fraternity that is NFL ownership. And I'm going to give an example from the Chargers for this. The name is Ladd McConkey. We all know him, the little dude out there catching balls from Justin Herbert. A year ago, Ladd McConkey was a second-round pick, just like R.J. Harvey, like the players that we're talking about here. He wanted guaranteed money. The Spanos family owns the Chargers. They're notoriously cheap. They're one of the worst owners in all of sports. Notoriously cheap, don't have liquid cash. They're in a tough spot. But what they did, because they said, this guy's important to our offense immediately from day one, just like R.J. Harvey, we believe he's going to have a big shelf life, a ceiling where he can grow, develop, and be an even more important key cog with this team. So what they did is something I think that Greg Pinner, George Paton, and R.J. Harvey can do. They guaranteed 91.5% of his rookie deal. I don't know that you need to get to 91.5%. If R.J. Harvey's looking for a 100% guarantee and Greg Pinner and George Paton only want to give the 50 that's allocated by the NFL, can't you meet in the middle at 70 or 75? And you say your first 2 years are done, and then the half of whatever your guaranteed money is in that third year will be guaranteed on the books. You have to earn it in that second half of the third year and your fourth year, or if you meet or exceed our expectations in your first couple of years when that money's guaranteed, we'll rip that contract up and give you a contract extension right then and there. And it might not be for, you're not going to give a running back a 5-year deal, but maybe it's just another 2 or 3 years. You're still keeping a guy under 28 years old, and you add more money to it, rewarding the player, showing good faith to future free agents and future draft picks. That's the happy medium. That is what they should be doing with R.J. Harvey and even Barron, Jahdae Barron, if that's where they want to get to. There's a happy medium that they can achieve, and I think that is exactly what will go down. Will it happen before Wednesday? I don't know about that, because they're not going to hit the ground running on Wednesday and put pads on and be running over fools or hitting fools at practice. That's going to be a slow build up, and I think we're probably a couple Saturdays away from that going on, and they'll have a deal done with both R.J. Harvey and Jahdae Barron by then. So Broncos country, what say you? Let me know in the comment section here. While you're there, like, subscribe. You know what to do on the YouTube channels. But is it a big deal? And if it is a big deal, who are you pointing your finger at? Is it RJ's fault? Is it Greg Pinner's fault? Where does George Paton fall into all of this? I'd love to know in the comments. I'll circle back and see what you had to say. This has been Dover on Denver, and now I'm done.